Yo, what is going on, everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today is going to be a very quick and to the point, and that is I recently have watched this video right here. You may have seen it, you may have not. I'll link it down below if you haven't. But one of the main points that comes up in it is Jauz cuts his cents around 7K in his drop. And he does that to keep his high end controlled in a drop and to really let the hats and rides come through overall. So I watched the video. So I did what any reasonable artist would do and tested themselves. So I used his method when I was making a drop for a collab, which I'll show you part of it here in a second, to hear the high end. And for context, I think this is pushed at like -2 lufs. I don't remember off the top of my head. It's pushed pretty hard because I wanted to show how hard you can push it. And I'm not compressing it at the high end, so it's not out of control. I think it's just a soft clipper on my master and imager to help with spacing. After that, I created a drop real quick, just using some samples off Splice, and I want to show you the technique of cutting around there versus not cutting there, and you can see for yourself if it's something that may interest you. So, let's get into it. But before we get into it, do me a favor real quick. Hit that like button for me down there. Make it turn blue. Help me out, as it does help me in the YouTube algorithm. And leave a comment saying, yes, this does help, or if it doesn't. I'd be curious to know if a lot of people knew about this or not, because it's recent news to me. So, enough rambling. Let's get into it. This is collab. Alright, let's do this. Okay, so you can hear from this, first off, it's loud, yes, I know that, but B, you can still hear those hi-hats just so clear when they're hitting, the attack of them, the rides, everything just kind of is pumping and making it that kind of swing, because I just have different things delayed, but you can tell there's really nothing competing in the high end. And when I made this drop, I sent it in to a few mentors of mine, and they thought this was super clean off the get-go, which I asked them exactly what they thought.
Here your highs were taken care of. Like here you did an excellent job with the mix here, right? Like in regards to the blah 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 and the triplet shit at the back, I think you did a good job mixing that there.
So if you think that high end sounds good, let me show you the technique I used, which is super simple. Okay, so now we're in Ableton, and I can show you exactly what we have set up. It's super simple, nothing really, no effort really into this. I have my sidechain up here, my kick and snare on the 1 and 3. I have some of my personal rides. Description in the below. It's free. Self plug. Sounds like this. Literally just cutting out any of the stuff I don't want below and adding a little reverb, and then I literally just have a cymatics loop because I wanted something more groove and something I can do quick. So here this is. It's got a lot of that bright noise style hats, and then I used I downloaded some of Barely Live's basses because I've really never used them, and they're quality, let me tell you. I guess you guys probably knew that, but this is the loop I made. We'll listen without the EQ on it, out of their basses. Okay, right? We're just doing a 4-bar loop. And yeah, it's pretty much just this main layer, which is just all the basses, has a sub in it. This is just a stereo layer that I threw in real quick for those chugging basses, and this is just a sustain. So cool, super simple. That is it to this. Why is it important that Jauz does this? Well, first off, you can kind of see naturally where hi-hats sit. Right? They're up here. So whenever you have your basses that are bleeding up there as well, and we can do that by turning the EQ on real quick, right? So you have all that's building up. on top of you have other elements that could possibly be in there, like, if you're not sidechained to your snare, you're gonna have that the brightness of that. There's many things that can get in the way. Okay, so here is the track without the EQ, and listen to the high end specifically. You'll kind of hear how it's kind of crushed. So let's do it. So then we're gonna hear it with the cut. So now the basses sound like this, and I'll give you a reference real quick. Basses without cut, right, and with cut. You don't notice that cut. Now, for me personally, you're gonna see and be like, "Oh, that's at like 9K." Well, normally I go in and cut things specifically where I want. Between 7 and 10K is what I found is the best. Sometimes 7K is gonna mess with if you have very bright layers or something. So I'll cut it like maybe like 9. But let's say we even do 7, right? It kind of sounds a little muffled for this, so I'm just gonna bring it up around like 9K, which still leaves 10 plus on, which is where all this stuff is hitting, as we can see here. That whole area is going to be unchallenged with basses, where before it was. So let's listen to it now with the cut, and then after we go through the loop, I'm going to turn the EQ off, and you can hear it for yourself, the differences. Okay, so just hearing off that, for me, I can hear the hi-hats so much cleaner. They sound very crisp, where before it just kind of sounded like hitting noise. I think it's really useful. At the end of the day, I'd say, I would roll off some of the high end no matter what. Maybe if you're not comfortable there, at least rolling off maybe up to 10, but you really don't need all the extra stuff. And I really feel it's going to help, especially with pushing your masters. You're not going to worry about compressing the high end, so you're still going to have natural dynamics from the hats, if that makes sense. I hope this video has helped you guys. I know it's short, I know it's sweet and to the point, shock and awe moment for me, and I really will be using this technique going forward as well. And I figured I'd share with you guys. So I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care. Remember to hit that like button and subscribe if you want more videos like this. Peace.